And for those joining the video, just let you know that we'll be using 2 blocks this morning. And we will make our way over to our mats. And let's see. And we'll begin, you can begin sitting or lying down. I think I might start lying down today, but it's always your option. I know some people are more comfortable sitting. Some of us are more comfortable lying down. Sometimes on any given day, it could be different. So just kind of decide what would feel better for you. And if we're lying down, we're going to just feel the body resting into the floor and really plant our feet underneath us so we feel that grounded connection to the floor. If we're sitting up, let's feel our sitting bones root down, feel the spine rising up. And we're going to just take some time to try to become very present, to focus our awareness on exclusively what we're experiencing now. So there's a lot going on in our lives and there's a big weekend up ahead, but we're going to take this hour and we're just going to focus on ourselves and how we're feeling and what we're experiencing. And in doing so, it can really enrich that experience. If we're always thinking about something else, we kind of don't get to experience what we're doing right now. So really dive in to noticing, to experiencing, and feeling what it feels like to be where you are right now, in your body, in the space that you're in. Notice what it feels like. Notice whatever you can hear in this moment, what you might be able to smell. And even the quality of what you see, even if your eyes are closed, there might be a little quality of light coming in, or maybe you prefer to have your eyes open. But just open up to all your senses. And as we're experiencing the present moment fully, let's dive into the feeling of breathing. So feel your in-breath and feel your out-breath. We know we can do breathing without thinking about it, but let's think about it now. Let's focus on it. Feel what it feels like if you allow the breath to expand more fully, more deeply, more expansively. And notice how it feels when you allow the breath to fully empty and release. That calming nature of the exhale. The inhale can be rather energetic. It requires a lot of muscles to breathe deeply. There's sort of an energetic quality to our inhale. And then there's a soothing, calming quality to the exhale. And we might choose to invite something in with the in-breath. Maybe we want to focus on gratitude this morning, or appreciation, or love, or kindness, or patience, or trust, or forgiveness. And we can let the exhale be a way to breathe that out into the world, or the exhale could just be a letting go, a releasing. But we can use the breath to kind of nourish ourselves. We can breathe in something that is of benefit to us, something that we'd like to have a little more of in our lives. So let's do this nourishing breath for a bit longer. Let this breath serve you. Let it help you create a really nice beginning, a nice foundation for this practice this morning, for this next hour, or maybe for the rest of your day. Let's take one more deep breath in and out. And then as you transition to a more natural breath rhythm, just take a moment to see if you can soften the roof of your mouth. Let your soft palate soften and broaden. Imagine the roof of your mouth expanding out towards the back of your head, the base of your skull. Just kind of free up the tension that we hold in the mouth, in the jaw, in the head. Feeling that softening, broadening quality. Take one more breath. And then we can go ahead and open our eyes. And we're going to begin right away with one of our blocks. So go ahead and find one of your blocks. We're going to place it the medium width, not the widest width, but the medium width between the thighs, kind of halfway between the knees and the body. And then as you place it there, kind of squeeze it, kind of hug onto that block with your thighs. And then we're just going to lift the heels and then bring the knees up. And then we're going to lower the feet back down. And as the feet come down, we'll just relax and take a breath. So we're hugging onto the block and bringing the knees up. And then we're lowering back down, letting the feet land, relaxing and taking a breath. So this just is a nice, easy way to wake up the low belly here. The low belly is going to fire to help the movement of the legs and kind of waking up those inner thighs a little bit as well. So we're just going to do a few more of these, squeezing and bringing the knees up and then letting the feet come back down. And again, you can go at your own speed. You don't have to go at the speed I'm going. But we'll do this one more time. And then the next time we squeeze the block and bring the knees up, let's take the legs up in the air. We'll take a breath in. And as we exhale, we're just going to curl the hips up. And then we're going to roll back out. We'll bend the knees and just touch the toes. And then lift the knees up, straighten the legs and curl up a bit. And then lower and bend and touch the toes. And do that a few more times. Curl up and then release and touch the toes. And lift the legs and curl up. Roll out, bend and touch the toes. Let's just do two more like that. Now we got that low belly really working. Touch the toes. And last one. And you can let your feet come all the way down. Let's go ahead and grab that block, set it off to the side. Pick the feet up, we'll hug onto the knees, bring them in close. And then let's draw the knees apart. With your knees apart, place your hands on the inside of the knees. And your hands are going to try and push your knees apart, kind of get a nice stretch there, open up. But then as your hands are pushing your knees apart, try to bring your knees together. So your knees are going to pull in towards the midline, but your hands are pushing your knees apart. So they're both working. Your shoulders are working to push your knees apart, and then your knees are pressing back in. And so just hold kind of midway. So they're both working and neither is winning. So there's no movement, but your hands are pressing out and your legs are hugging in. And then let your legs win. Bring your knees back together. And let's do that again. Press the knees apart. Let them go as far as they can go. Get a little stretch there. And then start to press your knees in. As your knees are pressing in, your hands are pressing out. And just keep slowly, gradually letting the knees win. So slowly, slowly, slowly let the knees come back up. But the whole time your hands are pushing your knees apart. And then knees come in. Your hands can kind of touch. Let's do that one more time. Press, open, get a stretch, take a breath, and then feel that resistance. Your hands are trying to push your knees apart, but your legs are drawing the knees together, and there's quite a bit of work there. And then eventually the knees come together. Great. And then go ahead and lower your feet down. Let's lift our heads up now and clasp our hands beneath the head. Let the weight of the head rest into the hands, elbows wide. And then take your feet off the floor again, knees up. We're going to take a breath in. As we exhale, we'll knit the ribs and curl up head, neck, and shoulders. Let's extend the right leg out now, and we're going to twist the right elbow across. And then the knee will come back as we inhale the head back. We'll curl up and extend the left leg and twist across, and then bring the knee in and lower the head down. So we're just curling up and twisting across, and then bringing it back, lowering down. Curl up and twist across, and then lower back down. So as we twist across, we can think about elbow to knee, but let's also think about bringing that rib cage towards that opposite thigh. So we're really working to twist the trunk here to get those oblique muscles working. We'll do a few more like this, waking up the upper abdominals and those oblique muscles here. Curl up, twist across, lower down, curl up, twist across, lower down. Let's do each side a couple more times here so we really feel the action of the abdominals working. All right, go ahead, release your head, release your feet. Let's roll to the side, and we're going to just lay on our side for a bit. We'll let our head rest on our bottom arm some way that's comfortable. We're going to bring the knees forward, straight forward from the hips. Let's bring them parallel, and then we're going to lift that top leg up. So have your top hand on your hip. Your hips are stacked when your knees are parallel. Keep that alignment of your hip as you extend that leg straight. And then we're going to take that leg slightly behind, and the tendency is for the hip to roll back. We're going to keep that hip right where it is, but the leg is a little bit behind. And then we're going to lift and lower. So we're going to start to work the muscles of the hip, those glute muscles here, lifting and lowering, kind of maybe leading with the heel. We don't want the toes pointed up. Toes are forward. So we get more into the hip, the outer thigh rather than the quad. We'll go up and down a couple more times here. And then let's just make some little circles. Again, keeping the hips steady and stable so it's not rolling back. We're going to circle that leg around. And then let's circle the other way. Circle it around. Circle it around. Just movement in the leg, not in the hip. We'll go 2 more times in this direction. And then we'll bring that knee over the other knee. Let's push ourselves up and go to the other side. So I said we were going to work on balance and mobility today. So we're going to stack the knees, one right on top of the other. So that hip stays right where it is as that top leg extends and goes a little bit behind. And then we're going to lift and lower. So our ability to balance is greatly enhanced when we have strength and when we have mobility. When our mobility is limited, it makes it harder to balance. It makes it harder to catch ourselves, especially if we lose our balance. And if we are stronger, those muscles that help us balance are stronger, we're going to have greater ability to balance. So being able to balance requires strength in the hips, strength in the knees, strength in the ankles. So we work on all those things here. And now let's do little circles. Yeah. Circling that leg around. The toes are forward here. Second side is always a little bit harder because we stabilize with that bottom hip. Let's go the other way. Nice. Let's do a few more in this direction. Great. And then we're just going to bring that knee over the other knee. Let it rest down. We're going to make our way up. And I want us to come kind of on the middle of our mats, kneeling. So we're going to be kneeling. So if you want to cushion your knees, you can. And we're going to put weight on our wrists. So if weight on the wrists is uncomfortable, you could also cushion the heels of your wrists, if that, so we're going to put all the weight on one hand for a while here. So getting nice and square, knees beneath hips, wrists beneath shoulders. I want you to take one leg out to the side. And you can have the inner side of that foot on the floor. And then that same arm as that leg, we're going to take it out to the side and we're going to reach it up toward the ceiling. So as that arm reaches up, you press down with your bottom hand, you reach up, and then can you take that arm and let it drop a little bit behind you? So you're kind of getting a stretch across the chest here, letting that arm reach back. Kind of reach it back, and again, reach it back. You're kind of twisting, rotating here. Reach it back. And then take that arm that's reaching back and kind of sweep it down, sweep it forward. We're going to just circle it around. So we're going to go for a full range of motion in the shoulder here. Circling that arm back and around, up and back and around. And then just change direction on that circle. Back and up and around, back and up and around. And one more time. Great. And then bring your hands back down beneath you, but we're going to still have that leg out to the side. And this is going to be a little different. We're going to do cat-cow. So I want you to kind of arch your back as you breathe in, and then round as you breathe out. So it's just our regular old cat-cow, but it's going to feel quite different with the leg out to the side. And some people really enjoy this variation of cat-cow, the leg out to the side. So maybe explore that, play around with that another time or two. See how that feels. And then we'll start to transition to a flat back. And then we're just gonna walk our hands in and come up so that we're here. Take your arms out to your side. And we're going to tip over toward that extended leg. So this hand can be on this leg. We'll take the other arm up and we're going to stretch up and over. So from that knee presses down, the arm reaches overhead, breathe into that side waist. And then let that arm come up and reach both your arms out. Now we're going to tip over and we're going to let this bottom hand come down as the other arm comes up. And we'll reach that arm over. And then we're going to reach up and then we'll rise up, little waist work here. Bring one hand down, take the other arm up and over and breathe. As you exhale, reach out to the side, tipping over. Bring that bottom hand down, stretch over, breathe. And make your way back up. Great. All right, we're going to change. So we're going to bring the hands back down, bring that knee in, get nice and square, wrists beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips, and then take the other foot out to the side. And then take the same arm as the same leg out to the side and reach that arm up. So press down with your bottom hand, reach up with your top arm, and then can you reach that arm kind of back? So you're twisting here. And kind of press it back. And again, press it back. You're kind of pressing that arm into the space behind you. A couple more times. Opening up that chest. And then we're going to sweep that arm down and around and forward. Big circles. Sweep it up, around, behind, down, and forward. Keep going in this direction one more time. And then change direction. Circle that arm the other way. So full range of motion in that shoulder here. Sweeping that arm around. One more time here. Keep breathing. Yeah. Then place that hand on the floor. And again, we're going to do cat-cow with that leg out to the side. So you're going to experience this movement quite differently than it feels when we're more symmetric with both knees on the floor. And maybe you like the way this feels. You kind of feel things loosening up in a way that you appreciate or enjoy. Kind of a nice thing to switch it up with every once in a while. So after the next time you flexed or extended, come to your flat back and then walk your hands a little closer. Bring your body up. We'll reach the arms out to the side and take a breath. As we exhale, we'll bring that one hand down on that leg, reach the other arm up and over. Stretch and breathe into that sideways. And then take the arms out. Tipping over, we'll bring one hand down. Other arm is going to reach up and over. Breathe. And then bring yourself back up. Reach out. Tip over. Reach up and over. Come back out to the side. And tip over. And reach up and over. Great. And then come out. And drop the arms. We'll bring that leg in. Let's turn so we're on the long line of the mat and make our way into downward facing dog. So we're going to come up into our first down dog here, grounding through the hands, taking the hips up and back, maybe bending the knees a bit, getting a little more spinal extension, shaking the head a bit, releasing the neck, maybe pedaling a heel down, and pedaling the other heel down. So just moving in a way that feels supportive for you in your down dog, or maybe just holding it here. Let's take one more deep breath in and out. And then we'll walk our hands back towards our feet, lowering the heels down, nice and folded over here. Let's breathe into the back. Allow the breath to empty. Draw the belly in and just begin to roll ourselves up, taking some time to unfurl and stack those vertebrae. Grounding down as we lift the head up, we'll reach the arms out. Inhale the arms up and overhead. As we exhale, we're going to swan dive forward. And I'd like you to walk your hands all the way out and make your way into plank position here. Yeah. Pressing the floor away, getting nice and long, heel to crown, taking a breath. As we exhale, we'll put a little bend in the elbows. You're always welcome to let your knees come down if that's better for you. We'll take another breath here. And on this exhale, let's lower all the way down onto belly. As we make our way into prone mountain, we'll let that chest sink close to the floor. Reaching long from toes to crown, let's inhale up to baby cobra. So baby cobra is low enough that we could lift our hands off the floor. Let's do that. Lift the elbows and squeeze in to wake up the upper back a bit here. And then release the hands, release the chest. This time keeping the hands down, we can inhale up to baby cobra, or if we like, we can come up a bit higher into cobra. And then we'll lower back down. Let's push up to knees, curl the toes under and lift the knees. And lift up and back to down dog. We'll breathe in and out here. And let's look a little forward, walk our feet up towards our hands this time, planting our feet beneath us. And we'll sweep our arms out, inhale and rise up, reach up. We'll exhale our arms down at our side, taking a moment here to ground ourselves and stand tall. And then let's take the arms and sweep them out. Inhale and reach up. Exhale and swan dive forward. Bring our hands to the floor and step back to down dog. Take a breath here. Exhale to straight arm plank. Take a breath here. Exhale and bend the elbows a bit. Take a breath here. Exhale and lower all the way down, prone mountain. We'll inhale up to baby cobra or cobra and exhale back down. and make our way up and back to downward facing dog. Let's breathe in and out here. And then I'd like you to drop onto your knees again. And we'll come up to stand on our knees. Always knowing that you can cushion your knees anytime you like. Let's take one foot and step it out in front. Let's all do the right foot. So in case I have to cue side to side. So we got that foot out in front. We've got the heel under the knee or a bit forward of the knee. We can bring our front hands on that front thigh, and we're just going to start to let the hips move forward. Let the weight go into that front foot. So we start to stretch into the back of the front of this back leg. And then we're going to push the weight back. Now let's press down with this back knee and shin as we do that same movement. And maybe you feel a little more of a more active stretch in the front of the thigh here. A little more resistance. So you're maybe not dropping as deep, but you're maybe getting a more effective stretch in this thigh because it's active, because you're pushing the knee down, you're creating some action in that thigh. So let's take the same arm as the back leg now and bring it up. Stretch it up. As the knee presses down, we reach the arm up. So we get some length all the way from that knee, all the way up to the armpit, all the way out through the fingertips. Take a breath here. And then let the breath go. And then take the other arm and stretch it up as well. Press the back knee down, reach both arms up, breathe in. And then we're going to lean forward and bring our hands to the floor. And you can drop a little deeper into this if that would feel good for your body. Let's bring the same hand as the back leg, palm on the floor. Take the other arm out to the side, and then we're going to inhale that arm up toward the ceiling. So we're twisting here. Try not to let the right knee drop open. Hug the knee in. Breathe in and out here. And then bring that hand down. And then let's push the weight onto the back knee, and we're going to change legs. So we're going to step the left foot out in front, the heel maybe forward of the knee a bit, so that when you put the weight into the front knee, that knee bends over the foot, the back hip is moving forward. We'll take a breath here. And then push the weight back. Now let's put weight in that back knee and shin, and then let the weight move forward. So a little more active stretch. Yeah. I have a bluebird right outside of my window, grabbing a worm this morning. That's fun to watch. But let's focus on our present moment experience, feeling that pressing down. Let's take the same arm as the back knee and reach it up. So the knee presses down, the arm lifts up. And then we'll take the other arm and reach it up as well. Big breath in as we stretch up here. And then we're going to lean forward and bring our hands down. Same arm as the back leg, that palm comes on the floor. Other arm out to the side. We're going to press down to lift up. That left knee might drop open. Hug it in. Press down, reach up, open, twist, breathe. And then bring that hand back down. And then just push your weight back. We'll come up, so we're on both knees again. And let's just sit back into child's pose. You might bring your legs close together, sit back on your heels, round over your legs, bring your forehead onto something, your arms, a block, the floor. Take a breath into your back. Let the breath empty out. What are you breathing in this morning? Is there something you'd like to breathe out? Just focus on that for one more breath. Then with your next inhale, lift your head up, reach your arms out, and make your way to downward facing dog. We'll breathe in and out here. Now let's take the right leg up in the air, breathing in. We're going to bend the knee, dropping the heel towards the bum. Maybe lift the knee up a little higher. Take another breath. Then let's hug that knee up and in, look forward, and step that foot through to lunge. Getting into our low lunge here, let your hips sink down. Then we'll press into the front foot, straightening that front leg. We'll rise up, bringing hands to hips. We're going to square our hips to the front of the mat. Let's bend into the front knee and push that foot down to straighten. Bend into that front knee. Push that foot down to straighten. One more time like that. So working on sort of functional mobility here. Let's bend the knee again and keep it bent. We'll sweep our arms down, forward, and up. Big breath in here. As we exhale, we're going to reach the arms forward, and then same arm as the front leg, we're going to sweep it down and behind and open into a twist. Can you rotate the body a bit more? Open your arms out wide, take a breath, and then sweep that arm down, turn and face forward. Inhale up again. And then we're gonna lean forward, bring our hands to the floor, and step back to downward facing dog. We could just stay here if we like, or take a break on our knees, or we can flow. Straight arm plank, little bend in the elbows, lowering all the way down, prone mountain. Inhaling up to baby cobra or cobra, back down, and then up and back to down dog. We'll breathe in and out here. And then let's take that left leg up in the air. Keeping that leg up nice and high, just let the heel drop towards the bum. Lift the knee a little higher, breathe in. And then sweep that knee up and in, look forward, step through to lunge. Get into that low lunge, lower the hips. Press into the front foot, inhale and rise up. Orient your hips towards the front line of your mat, and then bend into the front knee. Press that foot down to straighten the leg, and do that a few more times. Building strength and mobility here. Let's bend the knee now and keep it bent. We'll lower the arms and sweep them forward and up and overhead. Breathe in. Then bring the arms forward. Same arm as the front leg is going to sweep down and behind. We'll open into that twist. Big breath here. Twist a little more. Then sweep that arm down, forward. Again, inhale up. And then let's lean forward. Bring our hands to the floor. We'll step back to down dog. We'll breathe in and out here. And again, walk your hands back towards your feet, lower your heels down. As we arrive here, let's bend the knees and lower the hips, sweep the arms forward, and sit back in our low chair. Arms could stay forward, hands could come to heart, or arms could reach up and overhead. We'll breathe in and out here. And then we'll push down to rise up, reach up, take a breath. And then exhale, arms down at our sides. Great. All right, we're going to use our 2 blocks now. So go ahead and find your 2 blocks. We're going to bring them to the front of our mat. And I just want you to fold over. So you got your feet hip distance apart. You got the blocks right under your shoulders. Let's take a big step back, I guess with our left foot. And then bring your hands in. So the blocks are right under your shoulders again. So the blocks are just going to bring the floor a little closer. So I have them at the highest setting. You could put them at a lower setting, and you could have your hands on the floor. But we're going to try not to bend at the waist here. So if we bring the blocks up, we have a greater ability to keep the spine long rather than rounding to get our hands to touch the floor. So we have this left foot stepped back, and it's deeply angled towards that front left corner of the mat. And we might have a nice bend in the front knee. So first, let's think about lengthening the spine. So we're kind of parallel to the floor. And then we're just going to work on straightening the front leg. And we may not get it all the way straight, and that's okay. But as we're straightening the front leg, can you pull that same hip back a little bit? So the hip pulls back as the leg straightens, spine is long. And could let the front knee bend again a little bit. And then can you try to straighten that front leg as you lengthen out through the crown of your head. And then we'll bend the knee again. And then we're going to straighten it as best we can. And then you might keep it straight. You might put a little bend in it. We're going to just let go of the blocks and we're going to press into the feet and rise up. So we can't really square our hips forward with this leg behind, but we'll square our shoulders forward. And let's think about just lifting the heart here as we breathe in. So a little bit of a back bend here. And then we'll come upright and we're going to hinge forward again. As we hinge forward, we'll keep the spine long. We'll let our hands come down to rest on the block. We'll try to pull that front hip back and straighten the front leg best we can. And then again, you might put a little bend in the knee, press into the legs to rise up. We're going to inhale and lift the heart. And then we're going to exhale again and hinge forward to flat back, finding the blocks right under our hands here. So we have a nice long spine. The front leg is more or less straight. That front hip is pulling back. So now we're going to have the same hand as the back leg, the left hand on the block. We're going to take that other arm out parallel to the floor, and we're going to open into a twist here. So revolve triangle here. Straighten that front leg and pull that hip back if you can. Rotate the chest. Reach the arm up. Breathe in and out. And then let that arm come down. Now we're going to try, you could do that again with the back foot on the floor, or can we put the weight into the front foot, shift the weight forward and lift the back leg up. Press out through your heel, pull your toes down. And then can we do the same thing? Reach the right arm out to the side, open and rotate into a balanced twist here. And breathe. And then bring the hand down. Bend your front leg. You can step the back foot down. And then let's just step that back foot in. Let's bend our knees a bit. You can just kind of let go of your blocks and just fold over. Take a breath into your upper back. Let the breath go. And we're just going to roll ourselves up again. Making our way up to stand. Great. Okay, we're going to do the whole thing on the other side. So we're going to fold over, find your blocks. This time we're going to take a big step back with the right foot. And we're going to have that heel down. We're going to walk the hands in closer. So that back heel is down, that foot is deeply angled toward the front right corner of the mat. And then can we lengthen the spine and start to work towards straightening the front leg. As we straighten the front leg, we can pull that hip back a little bit. And then let the knee bend. And just try to straighten it again. Pull the hip back. And then let the knee bend. This time we're going to straighten it best we can. And then can we push into the feet and legs and rise up? Chest is oriented towards that short line of the mat as we inhale and lift the heart. Exhale and start to hinge forward again. Leaning forward till we can keep our spine long and just have our hands on the blocks. We'll again try to straighten that front leg and pull that hip back. And then can we push into the feet and legs and rise up? Inhale and lift the heart. Exhale again and hinge forward. Bring our hands down so that they find the blocks again. Lengthen the spine. And then the same hand as the back leg is going to stay on the block. The other arm is going to reach out and open into a twist. Yeah. Pull that front hip back. Press down with your bottom arm. Rotate and twist. Breathe in. And then bring that arm back down. You could do that again, or could we step the blocks a bit forward, bring the weight onto the front foot, lift the back leg up, and then do the same thing. Reach that left arm out and open into your twist. Breathe in and out here. And then lower down. We're just going to bring that back leg and plant it next to the front leg. Let's soften the knees, let go of the block, drop into a forward fold. Take a breath into the upper back. Allow the breath to empty. Draw the belly in and begin to roll yourself up. All right, great. Once we're up, we're going to work with one block. We're going to work on balance a little bit here. So holding one block in your hand, we're going to start balancing on one leg. I'm going to start with my stronger leg. And so the other knee can just be bent. You're balancing on one leg. You can put the block in the same hand as the leg you're balancing on. We're going to just tip forward, and I want you to just set that block down anywhere you want. Leave it there and then come back up. And then we're going to try and go back and get that block, pick it up, and bring it back up. Great. Let's change legs. So balance on your other foot, bend the other knee, hinge forward, lean forward, and just set that block down anywhere you like. Leave it there and come back up. And then we're going to go back and get it. We're going to lean forward, come on down, grab that block, and bring it back up. I find this really challenging. I don't know about you. Okay, especially on I have a weaker leg. All right, back to the first leg. We're going to do the same thing. Put the block in your opposite hand though. And as you set the block down, just kind of set it in a different place. So it's a little harder to reach for. Leave it there, come back up, and then you're going to go back and get it. And grab it and bring it back up. Great. And then second leg, put the block in the opposite hand of the leg you're balancing on. Hinge forward, set that block down, maybe a little bit out of reach, and leave it there and come back up. And then we're going to go back and get it. Hinge forward, go back and get that block, bring it back up. We're going to do it one more time. On the first leg, you can put it same hand as the leg. I want you to hinge forward, and I want you to set it down kind of across from you. So you hinge forward, you set it down, so you kind of got to reach across, leave it there, come back up, and then hinge forward again, reach across, pick it up, and bring it back up. Change legs, balance, same hand as the leg you're balancing on, hinge forward, reach it across, set it down, leave it there, come back up, and then go back and pick it up. Great. All right. Good work. Let's make our way down to the floor. And we'll bring our feet together. You can sit up on a blanket here if that would be better for you. Sit with your feet together. You can grab onto your ankles. You might find it's better to have your hands behind, help you sit up straight. Either way is fine. Let's press our feet into each other, press our knees away from each other. So just kind of work into the legs, into the hips, pressing the feet in, pressing the knees apart, rooting down to sit up tall. Breathe in and out. Then let go of all that pushing in and out and straighten your legs out. Maybe shake them out a little bit. And then take your legs out wide. So your legs are out wide. Can you root your sitting bones down and sit up straight? So again, for some of us, it's hard and we're kind of leaned back. And the work would be to just push into sitting upright. And that might be a really big stretch for you to just be here. And that's great. Can we push our heels down to create a little more active stretch? And if you can be upright easily or readily, can you start to hinge forward? And if you hinge forward, you might reach your hands to the floor. So whatever we're doing, we're just kind of working to kind of see how it feels and see if we want to go a little further. The whole time though, we're going to press our heels down. So this is an active stretch. So your hands could be out in front, your hands could be out to the side, but let's try not to bend at the waist. Let's think about hinging from the hips. So we get the work along the inner line of the legs rather than just rounding the back here. So we're hinging forward, we're pressing the heels down. We're going to breathe in and out here. And then can you push your heels down as you straighten yourself up. Now, if you're kind of leaned back, this next one's going to be a little challenging, but if you have the ability to lean over, go ahead and lean over, take that other arm up and just stretch over towards that side foot. And if you want, you can kind of think about like grabbing the foot and opening underneath that arm. If you have that ability to hinge that much, just breathe in and out here. And then rise back up, hinge over the other way, lean over, that other arm can come overhead. You might just be stretching over. Some people might grab their foot and rotate. Breathe in and out here. And then rise back up. Great. Bring your legs together. Bend your knees. Separate your feet. And we're just going to roll to the sides of the feet and come into a 90-90 position with the legs. 90-degree front leg, 90-degree back leg. I'm just going to turn so you can see me better. And then we're going to orient over that front knee and lower down onto the forearms, letting the head drop down. We're just going to breathe into that front hip and let the breath empty out. Just use your breath in whatever way serves you here. And breathe a couple more rounds of breath. As your next breath empties, you can lift your head, bring your hands to the floor and push yourself up. Go ahead and lean back and bring your knees up, and then let your knees drop over the other way. And then orient over that front knee and lower yourself down, bringing weight over that front knee so that you feel a stretch in that front hip. And then just follow your breath. Breathe something in or let something go. Maybe you're just breathing in awareness. Just breathing in and noticing how this feels. Seeing how this is working in your body. Making little adjustments if it's not feeling right for you. Take one more breath. And then lift your head up and push yourself up. And go ahead and lean back, bring your legs up, straighten them out. Let's go ahead and sit up on our block. So we're going to sit up on the block the wide way so that supports our sitting bone. Gives us that little bit of elevation so that we can think about rooting our sitting bones down into the block, sending our roots down to support us sitting up nice and tall with that nice line of the spine, that little inward curve in the low back. And then let's just bring one arm across, one hand behind. So feel that line of your spine and feel yourself rotating around that line of your spine. Let your body spiral around in the direction of that back hand. And as we spiral around in that direction, take that same hip on that side that you spiraled and draw that hip back towards your midline. Draw that hip bone back towards the midline. So you're not twisting in your low back, but then really twist around your rib cage, chest, and shoulders. There's kind of action and resistance. Hips are pulling back forward, upper body's twisting around. And then take a couple of deep breaths in and out here. Let the breath empty all the way out. And then release back around. And then we're just going to go to the other side. One hand goes behind, opposite arm comes across. Feel that line of your spine spiral around it. Everything spirals around, and that left hip spiraled back as well. So now bring that right hip bone or left hip bone back in line with your midline. So your navel is facing forward, And then let your upper body spiral the other way. And then breathe in and out. Let the exhale be a big releasing and letting go. One more time. And then release back around. We'll make our way off of the block. And we're going to make our way to lying down. So if you're going to put a layer on or something, you can do so now. We're going to find our way onto our backs. If you'd like to put something under your head, go ahead and do that as well. But as you come onto your back, just hug one knee in, extending the other leg out straight on the floor. That knee that you're hugging in, go ahead and circle the foot around in one direction and then circle it the other way. And then take that leg up in the air, hold behind the thigh, slide your hands up the leg, and then flex your foot and point your toe. Maybe you don't want your hands slid up so far, or whatever's comfortable for you. You might be better with your hands behind the back of the thigh. You might want it further up. Whatever gives you the nicest stretch. Flex and point. One more time. Flex and point. And then bend that knee, release that foot to the floor. We're going to change legs, hug the other knee in, slide the other leg out. Give that one knee a big hug. And then lift the leg up. You might hold behind the thigh. You might slide your hands further up. Flex and point. And flex and point. One more time. So we're going to bend that knee again. And let's just circle at the ankle in one direction. And then circle the other way. Give it one more nice hug. And then release that foot down. And then we're going to start to transition to our final relaxation, where we're going to extend both our legs out. We might cover up with a blanket. We might slide something under our knees. Whatever we can do to allow us to be the most comfortable, so that we can lie back and really let the body relax. That's what we want to do here now, is let the whole body relax. So feeling the heaviness, the weight of the muscles and the bones releasing into the floor. Feeling the weight of gravity pressing down so that if we didn't have our muscles and our bones, we would just kind of be splat on the floor. There's just let go of all resistance. You know, the muscles cling to the bones. Think about letting that clinging go, as if your muscles could just kind of slide off your bone and kind of melt into the floor. So feel that melting, releasing sensation in the legs. Feel the release of the weight of your hips dropping into the floor. Feel your gut unclenching. Your navel kind of melting into the floor. Let the weight of your shoulders release back. Let your arms be heavy. Let your hands relax. Let your head be very heavy, resting back. Your neck can relax. Your jaw can relax. Let your eyes relax and your forehead soften and smooth. As you arrive in this relaxed state, just let your mind come along. Let it rest here. Just let yourself be as you are now. In this moment, just not thinking about what's ahead or what's behind. Just rest, fully open in this present moment as you are. We have this time. We give ourselves this gift of time to just be. Opening up to the fullness of this experience of just being as we are. So you might choose to stay a bit longer, and you're welcome to do so. You might close your device. If you're ready to transition, you can begin to open your eyes. Bring your feet to the floor. Gently roll to your side. Take a little time to transition. When you're ready, you can make your way up to sitting. Find a comfortable seat. And bringing hands to heart. Let's take a final few moments here just for ourselves. Maybe closing out your practice with love or gratitude or prayer or whatever speaks to you. So grateful for this practice and the chance to do it with you all. Peace. Have a great day.